20 minutes to find a chapter in the Bible. So they're not developing on a real physical level. They're sitting there degenerating under the auspices of spiritual growth. And that's what people do in the Wabians. When y'all not getting strong enough to fight this white boy, you don't have no nation or no community. But I know the UFO name. And I got all these sacred rituals. But none of them apply to that white boy come kicking you in your back. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. And they get mad when you say that. Oh, don't say that because Dr. York did this. He didn't do shit. They beat his ass. And if they come beat me, I want people to say that nigga ain't do shit. He didn't do what he said. He failed. Don't exalt me and I didn't achieve what the fuck I'm about to achieve. Look at my life critically and say, well, that nigga didn't do this. He fucked up over there. I told that nigga he didn't do shit right there. You see what I'm making? Keep it real. They don't want to look at him in a real manner. Because they spaced out. Do you see the one making? And no real leader, no real ancestor wants you to look at them from an unrealistic manner. Because how can you learn? You didn't come back here to make the same mistakes that they made. You came back here to do it in a different and a better and a more improved manner. They don't want to hear, oh, he didn't make any mistakes. Why is he in jail, sister? Right now. And none of his people can help him. Why is he in Colorado mountains with the worst convicts in the United States of America? Why was he stabbed in jail? For the same spiritual spaced out stuff that you're talking about right now. Do you see the point I'm making? Look at that. Digest that for a minute. And say, well, what can we do differently? Get your people ready to deal with this white man. Quit being so greedy, thinking money is a solution to your own problems, and thinking that political clout and political connections is going to somehow save them. They believe that. We don't have to fight the European. We can be political. We can infiltrate the system. We can have all this money. We ain't got to get trained and really get prepared to deal with this real enemy. That's unnecessary. We can use political clout and money. You understand? And we can look good and we can talk some good shit and that'll keep them off of us. Yeah, right. Those are all secondary. The primary goal is that you're prepared and you're fit for the job. Do you understand what I'm making? Those other ones, those are diplomatic. Those are all diplomatic. Yeah, we can talk to them. Yeah, we got money. We got some political connections. But when all else fails, what we need? We need the 18. We need the 18, right?
Courage.
Okay, you go on this mission, you go on that mission, you go on that mission.
Noble lifestyle.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
You go on that mission, don't come back till you succeed. I don't believe I can do it, you're dead, we kill you. You go on that mission, you blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm just going to tell you it's a reality. If you don't, I was telling a brother today, I said, you know, he's coming up from St. Louis. I said, brother, don't bring no cowards up here. If you don't believe we can do this, stay your ass at home. We can disbelieve on our own. Do you understand what I'm making? We know we can give this information out and wake our people up. Now, if you don't believe it can happen, it's not based on strategical thinking. It's based on your surety of whether you want to do it or not. And you have a right. If you don't want to do it, fine. That's fine. If this is not going to work for what you're trying to do, the truth is the truth. But to say it's not going to work in and of it, to act like you're questioning its work, we have already worked it. Single-handedly. Do you see the point I'm making? We have already worked it. Just a few good men has already worked it. We know it works.
Great concept.
So if you have disbelief in it working, which is a real disbelief in yourself, or some type of persuasion towards the white supremacist cultural framework and reality, you don't be with that. It's not a real question of intellect and strategy and methodology. It's a question of whose side your ass is on. Do you feel what I'm making? That's the real question that they're avoiding. Well, I don't understand, brother. How are we going to do this? We're going to do it? Brother, how are we going to feed all those people? We're going to feed them? Just like your father, when he paid the rent, when you was younger. I don't know, everybody, like I said, everybody didn't experience that. My father would pay the rent. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how my mother did it. She would pay the rent, though. She said, oh, we're going to do it. It's done. Do you understand what I'm making? So from that type of integrity, you know if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. Well, how? You going to do it? Do you want to do it? Well, that's the real question. I'm not sure whether I want to do it. Now, that's your real question. Are we going to be able to do it? Are we going to be able to change the condition of our people? Are we going to be able to feed these people, house these people, shelter these people? The white man is able to do it. The Chinaman is able to do it. The Hindu is able to do it. What will stop us from doing it besides the desire not to do it or the weakness to realize that we can't do it? The only thing that can stop us. That's what I say. I don't have time to entertain that conversation. I can do that for a little while. But if you want to see the condition of people change, quit being double-minded, quit being shysty, quit being acting like you can be on both sides of the table, and do it. Your real question is not how are we going to do it, but are you going to do it? We're already doing it. That's the real question that they actually have in their minds. Am I going to do it? And I would call them out and let them know that, look, if you're worried, if you think you're concerned about money, you want to bling and floss, you want to navigate it, you're not going to do it. I'll do it. I already can see through you. I can see what's stopping you and why you're not going to be able to do it. We get around, we get amongst each other, and we have practiced this ritual not knowing each other. We got this ritual called, you know what, I don't really know what you might do. When people come around me, I know what they're going to do, and I know what they ain't going to do. In 5 seconds. Do you see the point I'm making? I can tell in 5 seconds what a person is and is not going to do, what they're dealing with, what the challenges are, what the name are for doing that particular thing. I can tell. And we should get to that level, correct?
It's not judgment.
So we're not going to play intellectual games when real warriors can see other people's hearts. Y'all don't hear me. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. A real warrior can feel the heart of another warrior. Can feel fear and doubt and limitation. A real warrior can feel that. That's why he left and he said, y'all some warriors. We on something spiritual. Like it's a difference.
Ain't no difference.
It's no difference. You either gay or you straight. You feel me? Let's just get it real. There's no difference between spirituality and warrior. A spiritual person is the most of a warrior. He is the most of a warrior. Because he's challenging all the delusions of the material world. Buddha was a warrior. He had to challenge all the desire and attachment and the fears and the doubt and the limitation to walk a journey that was unknown to man to spiritually develop himself. Buddha was a warrior. So people come and say, well, you sound real philosophical. I sound that way to you. But philosophers have started all of the revolutions. Confucius, Mao, there's no revolution without philosophy. And philosophical thinking is an act of revolution because you're now thinking outside of the matrices of everybody who's institutionalizing you. It's not until you can become a philosopher can you really become a revolution. Even before Prophet Muhammad, there were poets that were writing poems of revolution. The Quran is just one of the poems. You see them making, they don't tell you that. But you have many great Arabic poets before Prophet Muhammad that wrote their Qurans, but they just was not looked at as Qurans because it didn't come in a type of Judeo-Christian methodology. The Quran is a Judeo-Christian book, but they're not going to tell you about Rumi and other poets, Sufi poets, Khalil Gibran, and the list goes on. You see what I'm making? They're going to just tell you, just deal with this Quran. So my point is, revolution comes from philosophy. Any revolution that exists, you can trace it back to a philosopher. Any revolution that exists, somebody had a philosophical ideology that transformed the community and I think is in the minds of the people. So my point that I'm making is that we have to be able to look at people and tell if they're warriors at this point in the game. If they're scared, if they're afraid of nothing of which they'd be afraid of, you can't fear death. It's happening anyway. No need to fear it. You're going to leave this earth. But your fear of death will put you in the hands of the enemy. Because you think that your enemy is so powerful that he can save you and he's going to torture you. Go to him and say, well, I got cancer. Well, okay, well, get in the microwave then. You going for healing and he's going to hook you up for killing. Well, get in the microwave, let me turn it all the way off and you'll be all right. Do you understand the point that I'm making? But if you had to deal with your own fear of death and just change your nutrition and start becoming healthier in your own life and trusting yourself to do the right thing, then you would not have been tortured by the enemy. Do you see what I'm making? But since you didn't have this self-esteem or self-confidence or self-realization, that you went off into the enemy.
Yeah, courage is the word that I've always focused on in my studies of Buddhism. Buddha always talks about courage. In Buddhism talks, the spiritual mission was the spirit of the lion.
Right.
Take 3 steps